Hi, welcome back to Carla Astrology. Thank you so much for joining me today. I thought I'd do something a little bit different. You're getting me as I am, no makeup, because this I'm going to do a tag that was originally started by Abi the Witch. Um, and it's about getting to know you, getting to know more about you. And I usually don't wear makeup. And in fact, I put it on for videos sometimes, more times than not. But this is how I am, like all the time, no makeup. So anyway, and my skin's getting older, so I don't need nothing on it. You know what I mean? So anyway, try to get through this fairly quick. Number one is, what's your name? And any stories or meanings connected to your name. So my name is Carla with a C. I usually have to say that anytime because they usually ask. um, as I looked it up, it says that Carla is the feminine name of German and Italian origins, Carl. Um, and it also is another name for Charles, the feminine. So there is something funny that goes with uh, how I was named, and that was my mom wanted to name me Melissa, and my dad said no. Um, and I guess he won because now I'm named after my dad, whose name was Carl. And my mother's name is Susan, so I got Carla Sue. So my dad kind of won out in that aspect. So that's how I am Carla. um, how old are you? I am 53. Just turned 53 in September. Do you use astrology, Western, or real sky? And what are your big three? Um, I definitely lean towards the real sky, the true sidereal, because Western was always kind of vague. Not that I couldn't sorry, there's a message on my phone. Not that I couldn't uh relate, because I feel like everybody can relate to almost any sign, but the true was like eerily right on. And my big three is Virgo is my sun sign. My moon is Aries, and my rising sign is Leo. So in the Western, it would have been Libra, Taurus, and um, Virgo. So Virgo's always been there, and I've always that's been so me. um, did you grow up in a religious household? And what religion was that? And did it influence your current spiritual path? I did not grow up in a religious household. My mother made it very clear that she believed in God. And she made sure that we had everything available to us to learn about God. And she bought us Bible stories, and we were my sister and I were so into learning those stories that we asked our mother if it was okay if we went to church. And she, of course, And we did that, and youth group. And I believe it was Baptist. I don't honestly remember. But it was, to me, the basic Christian faith. And did it influence me? Oh, absolutely. Um, what the biggest influence was my mother, and her thought that God was an alien, because I remember going to church and saying, "Well, why don't you come with us, Mom?" And she was just like, "Yeah, I don't really feel too comfortable, you know." I just have a different idea of who God is than, your basic Christian belief. And she explained that she thought that God was an alien, and if you look in the Bible, that you'll find that. And so that was my whole. I had to find out for myself. And I remember going to church and sitting there in the pew like, you know, um, and it became tough. So then we did the youth group, and that was amazing. Just connecting with other kids, and youth group was amazing. So, but then, so after that, realizing that church just wasn't something that I could stay awake for, um, then I dove into the Bible myself. I was probably close to being 14 because I was in high school at the time. And I was very curious about the Bible, and very curious about everything. I mean, Ouija boards, palmistry, astrology, and of course, my grandmother was very much into astrology. So, um, but that Christian base always has been there. And for the longest time, once getting to know some of the things that I know now, um, in the beginning, I felt like it was taboo because of Christianity, and it was something I did to myself. And, but I didn't stop there. I'm always diving and reading, and anything I come across, if it's scripture, I eat it up. And, between my sister and I, we did a lot of research outside of the Bible that was scripture that was kept out. So, I mean, then there's the question, why is it kept out? So, without that would be a whole other video. Does it influence my spirituality today? Absolutely. But any hindrance from it was completely something I did to myself. And all the knowledge that I have received thus far, not just from books, but also from the universe through meditation and prayer, whatever you want to call it, there is no hindrance now. There is no limit on my beliefs. And my biggest thing is I believe in omnism, that there's truth in every religion or belief, but not one of them is absolute truth. So, and that's kind of breaking it down in simplistic terms, but that is how I feel now. And I try to listen to other people's beliefs because I feel like some of it you're born with. It's in your consciousness. It's there. So, and that's where I think all truth is, if you listen. So, what are you manifesting for your future? To win the lottery. But I have to play to get paid. And I have not been doing that because there are some things I want to get done around my house. And I've been saying this now for a while, but it's getting done in increments. So as soon as these things are completed, then I am sure that I will win the lottery. And that I am manifesting. And I am manifesting that because there are all sorts of things that I would like to do with that money that includes, not just me, but others. So anyway, manifest that for me and then get a hold of me. So, do you have a favorite season? And what time of year makes you feel the most authentically you? So that is absolutely fall. And it is because of the bright, well, they're not bright, I guess to me, they're bright. The colors, the leaves, and I guess it's just that feeling, I know that the veil is thinning, and anything mystical is appealing to me. So I feel that in this time, it's like the getting ready to go into hibernation, you know. It's preparing, it's harvest, you know. That's a big thing too. It's a feeling of completion. Even though winter's coming, it's still, to me, I don't know. I guess I can't really describe it. But I feel very alive in this season. So, um, do you have a favorite color? And do you feel this is your aura color? If not, what do you think your aura color is? Okay, so I'll start that question, answer that question with my favorite color is blood red. And it's I mean, I do like all variations of red, but blood red is my favorite. It's like, it's sultry. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And blood, like, when you first cut yourself, it's kind of bright. Not after it's sat and dried up and then it's kind of burgundy. But I do like that color too. I'm weird. Do I think it is my aura color? No. I think that changes by our mood and obviously the energy that we are emitting, including the time that we are at in our age, our years. And I went and had one of those done um, at a psychic fair or whatever, and so I forget the name of that camera, but it reads your energy. And so actually mine is the exact mirror image of my sister's. So there's like green over here, purple here, and then there's red, fuchsia, gold, and yellow, and a little bit of green over here too. So, and I remember they had a little thing. The green is healing or healer, teacher, helps others, balance, possibly means going through a change. Hello, definitely going through a change. Strong values, hardworking, ambitious, driven to fix, improve, firmness, tension. And now, so that would have been on my my right side. So on the right that's expressing my outer self. So that is how others perceive you, or it's the energy that you put out. So I was, at the time, I was putting out healing energy. It's cool, right? And then what the left side was, the purple, is what are you actually feeling and what you are creating for yourself in the near future. And that is psychic ability, and intuition, magical, manifester. So that's what I was taking in. And the green is what I was putting out. So that is very interesting. Do I think that is something that I have all the time? I'm going to say no. I actually have my daughters, both of my my youngest and my oldest, and theirs was very, very similar. My oldest, hers had a lot of yellow and red, which and even some like my youngest, she had a lot of purple and red and yellow. And so that was all the yellow and the red are like an orange. Happy, magnetic personality. Red is high energy, and the orange is creative. And so both of those girls have all that, but they're younger. And with Rochelle's and ours were mirrored each other. So I thought that's kind of interesting, And then I was looking at all the pictures that they had laid out of people that had theirs done, and I kind of noticed the same thing. It's like the older, like my mother's age, had more of a real light violet, like white, and real light purple. And so I almost felt like it's reading when your energy is like when you're older, and I don't want to say tired because my mom is extremely busy all the time. Um, but I feel like it's that more relaxed, or, you're not anxious. And, I mean, I'm sure that she has those moments, but she's definitely calmer now. So, and it does say that about the purples, so I feel like almost, if I was to do an experiment, there's exceptions to everything, but I feel like your age has a lot to do with it. So, and I also read that your true aura isn't something that you can read with the camera. It's got to be something that you see with this, so um, I've had people tell me that they see like pink and I think pink and blue is what I've been told, but I don't honestly remember. I remember hearing pink, but I don't remember about the blue. And it's been so long that someone has actually tried to read my aura. So, and there's that. So there's that. So number 8 question is do you have a job, career, lifestyle that makes money or helps support you and help support you and your family in any way? What do you do? So I worked in the factory from the time I was 18 till just earlier this year. And it was a progression of things that I did. But the main thing that I had a little bit of a reputation for was doing graphics. They're vinyl graphic, and I would apply them to recreational vehicles. And in Indiana, Elkhart is the RV capital in the United States. I would imagine the world. And believe me, there's a lot of traffic for that. We have big shows and stuff. So I have a quite the reputation for putting those on. I was very good at it. So I was in demand. I did that many years. And not just that, I could do like semis, cars, or whatever, do full graphic wraps. I gave that up to watch my grandbabies. Well, in order to do that and get paid, I had to go through my state of Michigan, and that's where I live now, and take some courses. I got to have 10 credit hours every year to keep up, to get paid what I get paid. And it's actually pretty decent. It's not like the factory, but I mean, it's pretty decent. It's enough to take care of my end, because I do have a significant other that takes care of at least 50% of everything. So sometimes more, because he also fixes everything. So, and if you don't have to pay somebody, that's also, part of the taking care of your household, and money, that would go out stays in because you don't have to pay that outside help. And believe me, that is a blessing. And he is a farmer also. So he goes to work at the factory and then also a farmer. So he's an extremely King of Pentacles type personality. Okay, so what are some things that make you unique and an individual? Well, from watching everybody else's videos, a lot of people said that having green eyes makes you unique. And yeah, I looked it up. It's like 2% of the population have green eyes. Mine are not completely blue, and they're not completely green. They are blue-green, but they don't have any brown. They got like a little bit of, I don't know if that's light green or like aqua in the middle. So I looked that up, and that's actually 3% of the population. So I'm just like dragging behind you all there. um anyway, but that's pretty cool, and other things that make me unique. um I feel like I have a male female brain, and I feel like I house male energy as much as I do female energy, and I feel like that even before I started going through menopause. um Another thing, as far as like psychic abilities, I do have a lot of just knowing moments, and I also um like I know it's funny, I've told my sister this. I know I can smell death, and it smells like blood in a hospital, like that pungent smell of death. And I have not smelled that since I quit the factory, but I could definitely smell that in the factory, and every time it wouldn't it, somebody would die. And I that's how I learned to recognize. And boy, when I would smell that, I would be like asking everybody how they're doing, how's your health? Not because I wanted to, like, oh, I think something's going to happen. It's just, I don't know, just a worry thing. Maybe that's the Virgo in me, because I'm also I'm a very nurturing person, or I try to be anyway. um, just a basic care about people. So, what advice would you give your younger self? The advice I would give my younger self is to stand up for yourself, Carla. You know, I was very introverted as a child. So, a lot of times I wouldn't defend myself, and so people always do a lot of assuming when somebody doesn't stand up for themselves. And I didn't. I would just walk away because I didn't want to deal with it. And so a lot of people would just, and you know, or I'd take the blame for stuff, and I shouldn't have. But another reason for that too, I was thinking about that because I've done a lot of shadow work, is like, like when you're a kid and someone antagonizes you, instead of being a tattletale, because you never want to be a tattletale. You tattletale. No, you don't want to do that. So I would react, and it wouldn't be with every kid. It would be with, my family. And then once you react, then, the other kid's like, you did this. And I'm like, yeah, but nobody's seen what you did before. So I would tell myself, stand up for what you believe in at a young age, start early, because, too many people will take advantage of you if you don't open your mouth. And the more you keep things in, it's going to come boiling out when you're older. And that is exactly what's happened to me quite a few times. It's like you keep all that in, and then eventually it just, so stand up for yourself and speak what you need to say. You can say things in a manner that is not going to, or at least you can attempt that. It doesn't mean the other person's going to receive it well, but then it takes the blame off of you. Take care of it when it happens. Okay, so, and then the last question is favorite interest, hobbies, or activities outside of witchcraft? Well, I am just in the beginning stages of like witchcraft, and it's not something that I am willing to practice, but I am definitely learning and reading. So that is definitely a hobby. I am working towards learning hypnosis and past life regression. And everybody knows that I am a palmist. So, but before I came to the YouTube community, I also was in a band. And I happened to find my old CD. My band, I've actually written quite a lot of music, but the very first band, I don't think I have any music from them. The second band, I definitely have a lot of that stuff, but it was never professionally recorded. So my guitarist that I was with at the time, Chuck Height, he is actually working on some stuff, and he wants to involve members from that time, and so that we can actually get something recorded. My voice is not like it was back then, so Chuck, if you watch this, be prepared to, tune down, because it's even manlier, these. um, but this is something I did with the last band I was with. And we had called ourselves the Rare Exceptions at the time to record this. And the album was called The Mudcat Chronicles, because we were a blues band and we played in the bars, and we called ourselves the Mudcat Society. So the album was kind of in honor of that blues band, and we did a lot of cover tunes too. But so this is the backside of it. So it was 15 songs, and Kevin, the fella that produced it, extremely talented, smart, freakishly smart. So I thought I would play a track for you. Probably not all of it, because we're already at 26 minutes, but so if you made it through. This was my favorite song on the album, and oh, nope, I'm going to play this one first. This is a cover. The first one that I'm going to do is a cover, and we actually paid for the rights to cover this. It's the Ode to Billy Joe. I don't know if you can hear it. Put the computer over here. And then this was the one we wrote. We wrote primarily all of them. Like I said, there's like 15 on there, but except for this one. And then this one we actually put on a few platforms to get rated, and it was rated fairly high, but we didn't try to get it on the radio or nothing like that. We had 500 copies made for our friends and us and family. But listen. The lyrics, I was in a good place. And I want this played at my funeral too. My celebration of life. I won't play the whole song, but I was very proud of that we did. It was Kevin Chudzinski and Rick and Randy Faulkner. So Kevin produced this whole thing. And he's rhythm, lead guitar, and and Orion Flowers. He was our flute and saxophone player. Oh, wonderful. And then Kevin actually used a drum tracks, put the drum tracks on it. And you really can't even tell. I've actually played this for other people. Like, really? That wasn't a drummer? I'm like, no, that's Kevin. All Kevin. He's quite the maestro. And he's still doing stuff today. So I gave it up because of, I just didn't have time anymore. I My vocals were just getting older and tired, and like this I think I could still do, but most of the bands I was in were cover bands. So I did that for like 20 years. We play bars, we made money, signed contracts, all that stuff. And there were times we made really good money to help, take care of bills and stuff, but I never counted on it. So, because to me it was a hobby, even though I was very serious about that hobby. So that is me in a nutshell. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I am happy to watch everyone else's and get to know. Let me shut this off. And get to know all of you. So I hope some more people do this tag. I like the questions. And they're really, really good questions. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And don't forget to come check out our tarot tea and tiaras on the 30th. It's going to be a good time. And we are dressing up. So, hope to see you all there. And I love you guys very, very much.